Today I'm going to show you something that I think a lot of people struggle with when they start out with Unity, so I figured I would show how to do it so you don't have to struggle anymore when you start out with Unity. Best intro ever. Basically, when they start using Unity, in a lot of cases you're going to have a lot of different scripts inside your game, and you may need to go inside one script and reference to data, like properties or methods or something inside another script. And for a new person using Unity, it's just not always easy to understand how you're supposed to reference and why you need to do it in the way they need to do it. So I figured I would do a short tutorial in showing how to do that and explain why you need to do it in that way. So basically what I have here is I have a player inside my game, and I just did a very basic setup. So, you probably don't have what I have here. You have your own game, but I just wanted to show you how to do this using this basic example here. So what I have here is I have a player, which is just a basic player that I can actually play. If I click play, I can move around and stuff like that. So I can just move around. It's very basic. And what I want to do is I have a new game object inside my hierarchy in here. And it's just a basic, I right-clicked, I said create empty, and then I had a game object and I just renamed it to test. For some reason, it's called test. So what I want to do here is I want to take my test object and I want to reference to data or methods or something inside player. And the way we can do that is, first of all, by creating a new script, because we need to have a script on test in order to actually grab something from another script. So I'm just going to create a new clean C# script. I'm just going to call this one test. You could call it anything you want. I'm just going to call it test. I'm going to drag it up to my test object. And now I have the script attached to it. So I'm going to open it up inside my editor. This is how it looks like. There's nothing in there. And this is how my player controller looks like. And don't freak out if you are new to Unity and there's a lot of code. It's very bad code because it's a very quick script I wrote in order to move my player around. But you can see I have stuff in here. I have a lot of properties and fields. I have methods down here that I might want to grab from another script. And how exactly am I going to do that? Because, this test script is on another game object. So the way you reference the data from another script is simply by going inside your class. So in this case, my class test. And I'm going to create a field, which is going to be a type set to the name of the script that I'm trying to reference to. So in my case here, it's called player controller. So I'm just going to say I'm trying to reference to a player controller type field. If you do have a player controller script inside your Unity project already, it will try and recommend it when you try to write it out here. So just write player controller without everything capitalized like it's supposed to, and then call it something to reference that script. A lot of people like to just call it the same thing, but with a non-capitalized starting letter. And this is just how people do it. So I'm just going to close it off here. So now we have an empty container. Remember, we're not actually grabbing the script yet. This is just an empty container, and it needs to contain a script called player controller. So now we need to actually grab the script from the other game object. So the way we do that would typically be inside an awake function instead of start. The basic difference here is that awake gets called first and then start gets called after. And usually when you want to reference components inside Unity, you want to do it inside awake before you start assigning data to empty fields you may have up here. So if I had a Boolean and then I wanted to assign it as, let's say we have player equal to false, I would do that inside my start function, not inside awake. So, just doesn't really matter. It's not going to break anything in most cases, but just so you know, when you just need to assign components, we usually do it inside awake. So in here, I'm going to reference to my empty field, which right now does not have the script attached to it. I'm going to set it equal. And one way I can do it, which is not really the optimal way, but I will show you how to do it, is by going in and say you want to reference to a game object with a capitalized G, by the way, and I want to find it. So I'm going to say dot find, and then I want to find a game object called player, because right now inside my game, my player that has the player controller script attached to it is called player. So I'm going to find a game object called player, and then I'm just going to say get component, parentheses, and I want to grab the player controller. This isn't the most optimized way to do it, and some people may point that out to you. Another way to just simply do it would be to go up here and create another field called a game object type and call it player. And just simply reference player down here instead. So you're just going to say, okay, we have a player object, and then we're going to grab the player controller. Of course, right now, you won't actually be able to see this inside the editor. There's nothing assigned to this player field up here. If I were to go inside my editor, you can see that if I click on test, there's nothing really I can drag my player onto or anything. It doesn't know what my player is. So you can either call this one public, like so, which means that right now if we were to go in here, you'll notice that, oh, now we can actually drag our player onto it. So now we're actually referencing the player, and then we're grabbing the player controller from the player. However, in some cases, you might not want this to be public. Something you'll notice that you will probably see a lot inside Unity tutorials is people not writing things as public, but instead as serialized field. So I'm going to write it out like this instead. And that may confuse you when you see it, but that basically just means that this object here, or this field, is still private, but you can still see it inside the editor. That's all it means. One thing you have to keep in mind is when using private or public inside your scripts is that it is only going to really matter when it comes to scripts talking together. So if I don't want this player here to be accessible from another script, then I want to keep it as private. But if I want another script to grab this player, then it has to be public. In this case here, I have no reason for another script to grab this player. So I'm just going to keep it as serialized field, which means that it's private, but you can still see it inside the editor. So if we were to save this and go inside the editor, you can see it's still here. We can still see it, but it's now set to private, which means that I can't screw it up from another script if I try to do that. So with this grabbed, we now have the player controller grabbed from our player game object inside our game. So I can now say I want to grab player controller, and I can actually say player controller dot whatever property, field, method we might have inside player controller. So if I were to go in here, you can actually see that I have at the very top here a public, because remember it has to be public, otherwise we can't access them. If this was set to private, or if it just did not have anything in front of it, then I can't grab it. So if it's public, and you know this is just a property disabled that is set equal to false, I can actually go ahead and say disabled and set it equal to true if I wanted to. I can also just debug it out inside the console if I wanted to. So in this case here, instead of doing this, I could also just say debug.log. There's a much quicker way to write that out, I know. And I could just simply debug it out inside the console. So if I do this and go inside and actually play it, make sure we have the console selected, you can now see that my console is going to say false, 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 because I'm actually writing it out. And just to demonstrate, because we can actually do this and actually change our property. So now it should actually say true, because I changed it from in here. So if I play it again, you notice that now it says true inside my console down there. So that is basically how we can grab and change different things. We can also do it to methods, by the way. If I have a method, I don't actually know if I have one that is public. Let's just make this one public here. It's not going to do anything, the fact that I grab it, but let's just try and grab it here. So update mouse look. If I were to go in here and say I want to grab update mouse look, parentheses, because it's a method, I can now, actually call upon this method from in here if I wanted to. So this is how you can basically grab scripts from other game objects inside Unity. I hope this was educational. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope to see you guys in another video.